Some weird things has happened. I was wondering why this car is so slow to accelerate. It has pretty good acceleration.
The tire is shredding itself. The camera! That shot is gonna be wild.
Welcome to yet another video. We're now here in Helsinki Airport and about to leave towards Cyprus. And on this video and probably a couple of other videos as well, we're gonna be taking a look on the drifting scene in Cyprus. So I'm gonna meet Mr. Elakoko, the local Driftmasters hero. Then I'm gonna meet my friend James, who's the host of Jbot vlog YouTube channel. Go check on his content as well. Then I'm gonna see the first race of the season on the local drift series. So hang on tight and let's get going. Hello from Riga. I'm actually having a very short layover here before my final leg to Larnaca, Cyprus. Meanwhile, why don't you go to check on my new merch in Rollinrudi.fi. I can guarantee you that that's the best selection of Rollinrudi merch in the world. So here we are, a little bit warmer than in Finland, but not like too hot, at least to my taste. Maybe 19. And forgot my sunglasses. It's always here. It's a mandatory thing to forget something. Next stop, waiting for the bag. And then I'm headed to the rental car place to get my, hopefully, a Kia Picanto. Surprisingly good car. So there's my rental car shop. I think I need to call that place. I must say the ride to the car rental place is really amazing. Toyota. Okay, so I got the car. A little bit disappointed because it's a Skoda Fabia. I would have really preferred Kia Picanto. Don't ask me why. Here we are starting our trip to Ayanappa and into my hotel. And the tire pressure warning came out right away, so maybe I need to check those. Of course I could have had the guys to look on those, but takes a long time probably. So I'm driving to my hotel and some weird things has happened. I was wondering why this car is so slow to accelerate on the motorway ramp, and still it felt like really scary. So I realized that this actually has a speedo in miles, and there is a smaller scale there for kilometers. So that explained a little. Then there was another thing that when I kind of realized that, then I was wondering, like, this is a Skoda Fabia and it has pretty good acceleration. So what had happened? I was driving on third, so no wonder it was accelerating pretty well from 100k. But I still think that this car must be like surprisingly well sound insulated, because I really didn't notice until like 30 kilometers that I was driving on third. And I must admit that I'm a little bit tired right now because I slept probably 1.5 hours and in the night woke up 3:30. Got maybe 2 hours of sleep in the plane, and I don't feel like sleepy, but I feel tired. So let's see. It might be actually today when I'm gonna go to meet James in Achna Speedway, and let's see. There should be a drifting practice session starting from 1 o'clock, and that's gonna run until 6 p.m. So and I don't really know what it's all about, but as it's been quite a long time since I've been seeing drifting on tarmac, I think I'm probably gonna go there today. I can rest in the evening, like I have all the time in the evening. So we're arriving to Ayanappa. The view looks really nice. Never been here before. It's quite exciting. So I finally got into my room. There was a little bit of a confusion there because my hotel reception wanted me to pay for the accommodation, but that shouldn't be the case because this is basically a travel package, including everything. I mean, including the accommodation and the flights. And then I needed to queue for the customer service 2 times because first I took the general number and then I had to have the local number for the local guide, and yeah, I got it. Well, I hope they will sort it out, but they were really friendly in the hotel to give me the key and get into the room, and I just left my ID there for deposit, and hopefully that will be then sorted out later. But hey, here I am. And now, first of all, I'm gonna try to find something to eat, and then I think I'm gonna go to check the Achna Speedway, what kind of a drifting practice session is there going on, and of course I'll take you with me. So till the next clip. So ladies and gentlemen, I have finally arrived in the first real destination of this trip, and I am meeting a nice gentleman over here, James from
the
Jbot vlog. So really freshly, thanks for inviting me here.
You're welcome, bro.
I wasn't really sure about what to expect, but can you tell us where we are now?
We're at Achna Speedway, the only racetrack in Cyprus. It's 2.2 kilometers and all the drift races happen here. So this weekend we have the first round of the Cyprus Drift Championship.
Yes.
Yep.
And the invitation you sent me the first, and then I actually got an update while I was driving here. So there was supposed to be a training session here.
Today it's drift practice.
Drift practice, yeah.
It was from 1 until 6, but because it's Wednesday, most people are working, so nobody's showed up. Only Antonov is here. Okay. He's racing in street class. So this race is the first time we're going to do a street category for the street guys. Okay. So that's going to be pretty exciting. But yeah, we shall see. But we might have a drift lesson later, maybe.
You think so?
Oh yeah, bro, I just put tires on the car.
Okay, should we maybe go to check your weapon?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Yeah. By the way, just talking a little bit about James's channel here. He does pretty damn nice content from the Cyprus drift scene.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it in English, so.
Yeah, I'm doing it in English because I'm English. And I feel like doing it in Greek, there's a ceiling. So I kind of want to get the scene out to the world and not just to the
I think speakers. We also have the roof or ceiling for Finnish as well, but it's probably a little bit higher than in Cyprus. But anyway, I mean, looking at your videos, it seems that the scene here is pretty alive.
Yeah, it's alive. We've got about, I would say, 40 cars in total, and about another 20 in street class. So yeah, it's a pretty vibrant
small country,
scene.
I think it's a really
I think you'll be impressed with the setup of the cars. The drivers spend a lot of money on their cars here, like 200-300 grand. There's some cars that are more, but because they broke lots of parts in the process. But yeah, it's all Samsonas, Weissfarb front and rear. We've got Winters diffs on all of the cars almost. Most of the cars are running 2Js or BMW 3 liters. So yeah, the scene is going up.
Proper good stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess that's somehow nowadays everywhere almost.
It's the minimum.
Like especially in Europe, you need to have, if you want to kind of have a step up from your regional or a country series, you need to have that. I mean, it's no other choice.
I mean, there was one driver. I think Doros is still racing an SR20 2.2, but he's the only person with an SR20. So, oh no, Figarto is racing with an SR20 as well. He's been rocking SR20 the entire time. The different crate engines that he's buying. But yeah, it's
cool.
Boosted up the 2JZ scene. Yeah, this is my weapon.
So let's move on this one.
This is definitely not a 2JZ. This is a 1GFE Lexus IS200. It's completely stock. We welded the diff, put HSD suspension on it, and there's an air filter, and that's about it. And it's just
power.
100,
nobody knows.
120, I think.
Okay,
maybe.
okay.
It's very slow.
Oh,
I'm clutch kicking all the way around the turns. But we'll do a drift lesson in this, and this one I organized the drift days in Cyprus with Avusti, who's in the timing room at the moment. And it's basically like a drift matsuri. We all come down to the track, lots of street cars. You're only allowed to race street tires, so no semi-slicks. And it's just a day of fun, basically. So that's what I use this for, just to thrash it around the track.
I've seen plenty of videos of this car, and I must say I kind of expected like how that looks, to be honest. But I think it still manages to be like a little bit more intimidating than what I expected.
This you need to send it. You need to like properly send it. And the last 2 times I keep cutting the brake line for the handbrake. So I'm driving without a handbrake now until it gets fixed. But yeah, it's great fun. We should go out in it later.
Nice.
Maybe we could do a small lesson today. Do some donuts.
Hey.
I'll ask Avustis.
I'm basically, I'm on vacation now, so I'm anything you really come up with. I'm in.
Maybe start with a few donuts, and then do some more
me.
Tomorrow, because you've just come off a flight, so maybe you're.
I'm not maybe at my freshest because I slept like maybe 1.5 hours maximum last night, because the flight departed 4:30. I needed to be in the airport 3:30, and I got like maybe 2 hours sleep on the plane. So
what we do for drifting.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, you sent me the message that hey, there might be this thing today, and I'm like, oh, I'm here, and
I know.
To be honest, in Ayanappa, it's not the high season with everything. It's basically empty town. So
you probably have the whole place to yourself.
Yeah. So why not come here? So
yeah. Unfortunately, no one turned up. We could be lucky. What time is it?
It's now. It's 3
o'clock. Maybe we might be lucky towards the last hour. We might get to see Antonov do some runs.
Okay.
But we'll see,
Well,
let's
whatever
get this ready.
Yeah.
You want to see the track at all? You want to go for a walk around the track, or?
Why not? Why not? Yeah.
Let me empty the car and we'll go around in the car because it's huge.
Okay. Just. Okay. So let's take a look on the track then, and I think this car looks from the inside pretty much exactly like the outside.
But we have air conditioning still connected. You have an electric seat.
Cool.
And we have heated seats on your side still.
Okay, so if I'm cold, I can.
And we have an electric sunroof as well.
No way.
Yeah, we have luxuries in the Lexus.
Oh, of course, it's Lexus, so it should have some.
Yeah, there's a element for luxury. So like normally, there's some rims still in my boot. Normally there's 2 different tracks at Achna Speedway. There's the big track, which is like the circuit, and then this is the parking area. So in the parking area, most of the Cyprus Drift Champion Series happen in the parking area. And only 2 races happen in the big track. Okay. This is mainly because they put down a lot of semi-slick, and because we do motorbikes and time attack and stuff like that. We get a lot of complaints from the bikers. And they would start from here, floor 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever their however powerful their cars are. I'm only rocking 2nd. They come down here, and here they would initiate with the handbrake. So you would have normally one inside clip here. And there's different layouts that happen in here. The most famous one is this one where you come here, then there's another outside clip here. Then it runs across the wall, which there'll be another
blue
clip.
One here?
Yep. And then there's normally maybe another few clips right here. And then you have a choice. You can either do a transition and go that way, but most of the runs, they come this way, and then they handbrake another clip here, and then a clip where the tree is. And it sort of runs back on itself, the track. So here they would do a transition with an inside clip right on these 3 lines there. And then again around the whole big track, around the big turn. And this is where we'll do the night race as well, because the parking is full of lights. And you've got the grandstand as well. And here we do Gymkhana, we do Red Bull Gymkhana, we do the Achna Gymkhana, all the car shows happen here. And then in the track we'll go for the quick drive now as well. I wonder if the gate's open here. No, it's closed. We also have a Dragster strip as well.
Okay. Is it like a full size?
No, it's not full size.
So
it's
quarter.
I think it's 200.
Eighth of a mile.
200 meters, I think. It's quite. It's Evklidis. This young kid's one of my subscribers, and he sponsored me the steering wheel. Oh shit! Almost crashed straight into Salika. Here are the garages. The garages are quite cool at the track because everything is asphalt, and all of the garages have its own power and air.
Okay.
So all the garages have air, and it's not an additional charge. It's free by the racetrack.
Okay. Also, this roof, does it have air as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them. Every single garage has 2 inlets for air and 2 plugs for power.
Are these then leased by somebody or rented by somebody?
So the first couple are rented. One of them is mine.
Okay.
We have a driver from Greece because they're not allowed to race in the Greek Championship when they're under a certain age, I think maybe under 18.
Okay.
If you can't have a driving license, you can't race in Greece. So all the Greek drivers come to Cyprus to race because we allowed them to race for a young age. And then the last box here is just go-karts. They opened up a go-kart track now in the track.
Okay, so there's actually quite a lot of going on in this track area here.
It's always busy, the track. Only in the week it's not so busy because people all are working.
Okay, so this is the main track then.
Yeah.
And there's also like a different layouts here.
Oh, there is, but we don't really use all of them because we have to move all the grandstands.
Because I've watched your videos and I'm always like, how do they know where to go? Because it's like seems to be like there's so many like cross sections and stuff or intersections. Like, hey, where do you drive that? So
on the drift day, I try and block off all of the turns. On the Cyprus Drift Championship, they use this line. It's the Kuma line. It's named after Kuma Kumbo from Team Orange. When Achna Speedway was built, there was a lot of Team Orange was associated a lot with the track because the owner of the racetrack goes to Ibisu and all of his kids learn to drift in Japan. And the manager of Team Orange, which was Hiroki Furuse back then, he came and he designed our racetrack. So it's designed by a Japanese
so it is a drifting track from the very origins,
It was a drifting track, and the asphalt's quite fine as well, so that you don't use too much tires. But the track is quite old now, so it probably needs another layer of asphalt. But this is the layout that we're doing now is the official track of Achna. What you would do for time attack or motorbikes, or on the drift day, we do different layouts of this whole thing.
Why didn't I do this in the first place? Because
so here's quite a nice turn. Can be flat out through here. And there's a little bit of elevation in the track. It's on this bit. Yeah. Just a little bit, but
a little bit bumpy as well, but
here they did one race years ago where they did it in reverse, coming up the straight, and they had like some cars hitting quite high speeds. But for us to do it again, we need to move all of the grandstands, all the toilets. There's so much logistics involved. So it hasn't happened again for a long time. This is the farm straight because of all of the farms on our left.
there.
All the cows
Very
are there.
interesting.
And then yeah, this is the straight. And then you've got the Achna chicane, which is good fun. And then we'll do the first line once more, the first turn, just to show everybody the layout for the Cyprus Drift Championship, which is this weekend actually.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So they would start from here. We'll have a tower here, and they'll start here. First, second, third. Some people, I would imagine, are putting even in fourth.
Okay.
They initiate here with a handbrake. Now, when I spoke to Gogo, they would like an outside clip, followed then by an inside clip.
Okay.
Then it will be another outside clip, so this would be clip 3, and they want them right onto the edge of the asphalt.
Okay.
Then clip 4, it's a little bit further away than other times, but they've put it around this area, so they want them to fly to the outside of the track, and then zone 5 is all of this outside line.
Okay.
And they're met with a nice tire wall right here towards the end. And then they transition across the track for outside clip 6. And they had said for a clip 7, but nothing is confirmed until Vernon comes.
Okay.
And gives us the 100% confirmation of what the layout's going to be for their.
And we're now talking about the Vernon, the Drift Masters judge?
Masters, yeah.
Okay. And he's going to be one of the judges as well?
Yeah, Vernon's been judging for us with Mike from Drift Kings for, I don't know, quite a long time now. I've known Vernon for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years now. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite judges that we have in Cyprus.
I obviously interviewed him once,
yeah.
So he seemed to be like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
Of course, this season he's not going to be one of the Drift Masters judges.
Yeah, I know. I saw the Drift Masters judges announced the other day.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun, different year this year for Drift Masters. All right. So in here is where some people rent out garages. Mm-hmm. We have, I think that's a Cypriot driver's car. I haven't seen it in a while though. It's just got fresh stickers on it. Mm-hmm. Some guys that do go-karting. Mm-hmm. This is a car that came from Greece. It's an E30.
In your country, you don't need to have everything insulated and heated and everything because it doesn't get frozen here.
It doesn't get frozen, but it will be boiling hot in the summer.
For sure.
This is a Dragster car, which is a one-seater V8.
Really classic.
Yeah, it's old school. It's more of a display. We don't really race it anymore, but we bring it out at the events.
Do you know if this was built in Cyprus, or was it imported from the States or somewhere?
I would imagine it was imported from Greece. The driver, Kythreodis, he started the dragster scene, I think, in Greece. So I would imagine it came from there. But Avgusti can tell us because he's been with Stelios for many years. This is a customer's car. It came to Drift Day. Funny or not, we had a Corvette at the last Drift Day, which was quite cool.
Beautiful.
And the last 3 cars are rentable S2000s from the racetrack.
Okay.
So you can rent them and do time attack and stuff like that. They're pretty. They haven't been driven in a long time.
They seem to have some aero and.
Yeah, they have some crazy aero at the back. Just like one massive spoiler. Yeah, just a huge big spoiler. But these belong to the owner of the racetrack, so we don't really touch them that much.
Yep.
But that's it. And then the rest of the garages, it's all privately rented by customers, but they're all locked, so we can't really go inside of those.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
And then we've got like the toilets, briefing room is down there, that the drivers will do all of their meetings with the judges and stuff. Toilets, bathrooms, showers.
When was the track built?
The track was built in 2011, I want to say. I think it was finished by then. I came and worked here in 2012. I was living in the UK and I wanted to be the first person to do like a cool video of Achna Speedway. And when I did it, the owner offered me a job. So I moved away from the UK and I came to work at a racetrack. I mean, who's not going to work at a racetrack? It was like a dream come true when he told me. It was really fun. Worked for 10 years, and now I don't work here anymore. But I have a really good relationship with the track because of working here. So.
Oh, that's good to have.
Yeah, it's like having your own private racetrack. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to see some good drift cars here today, the fast pro cars, but nobody's showed up.
Yeah, but
we could go down and watch.
It's gonna be during the weekend. I mean, there's gonna be another video on my channel. I think I'm gonna put out at least 3 videos from this trip. So you know, I have one for you and one for Ela Koko and then one for the race at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see what else I can come up with. But at least to start with, it somehow looks really promising.
Yeah, it should be a good race. It's the first race. All the drivers are super excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's done new rebuilds, up the horsepower, change parts, put new gearboxes. Yeah, and some people are testing new tires.
And you promised me to show all the important and most interesting people and drivers to me, and let's see if we can find good talks with them. And
the challenge we'll have is that most people won't want to speak in English. They're drivers that are super comfortable with it, but if I'm not hanging around with you and they meet you, they won't know that you don't speak Greek, so they'll just have to speak in English. But if I'm around, they'll start to speak Greek, so maybe I'll point them out.
This is how we make and give visibility to all the drivers, and I think you know, if you are having goals in drifting or any sort of motorsports, you know that nowadays you need to get every presence you get from anywhere. So
I think the drivers in the past, they weren't very comfortable to speak on camera, but now because the live stream, Vision live stream for the championship sort of come and grab every driver for an interview, so they started to learn, and they're starting to get a bit more comfortable.
I mean, I think now it's like all social media, and if you don't do that, then you kind of remain distant, and you don't really, let's see.
We can go down onto the wall and have a look at it.
Yeah, so I mean,
you can actually film this before we go down there.
Okay.
It's the whole layout of the track, so you can show your viewers what we're talking about.
So
we're currently here. We're standing there. This is the pit area. This is that initiation line that I was telling you about. Ignore the RC car, it's no longer there.
Okay.
And then this is the line for the Cyprus Drift Championship, which the finish will be there. And then that's the racetrack, and that's the Dragsters strip that I was talking to you about before.
Yeah, that's why there's also, because of that, quite many of these
have all the turns.
Junctions and
So this is the Kuma
that's
line.
like the drift setups,
this is the main one we use. Will be for this race and probably the Drift Kings race in October. They do their super vinyl here. The Yannis turn, we used it once, I think, a long time ago, and if I remember correctly, the grandstand was here. This one, we've never really used it. And the chicane is only used...
so basically you need to then relocate the grandstands to wherever you need to have it.
Normally we would take this one, and was it this one? Where's the other one? Oh, this is an old picture, and there's a grandstand here as well now. And we would move it and bring it to like this area here. But it's it's a lot of logistics, and then all the crowd walk through the track, and it can get messy. But I'm looking forward to when they run that again, because it was really fun to see.
Yeah. So it's basically S1. So it's
so they would do it in reverse. They would come up the straight.
Okay. So
have a very
that's
high speed turn. And then they would come. I think
and then to have the grandstands right here. That's a little bit like in Riga. It's really fast and still that corner there. So
it was really cool. It was a long time ago now.
I think it's somehow quite nice to do this kind of overview of the place when it's not like that busy and somehow like overwhelming. You need to kind of pay attention to everything when you're in the middle of
the noise,
event,
everything, the people. So but when it's like this
feels more like a vacation-ish for me. So,
I always like going to racetracks. I like to arrive first, and I like to leave last. You see, you arrive when it's all nice and calm, you leave when it's calm.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
you get
much
all of the.
That's pretty much why we probably met in the first place in
to be
Drift Masters,
honest,
because we both do that. So.
Yeah.
But then, you know, if you want to be ready for, you know, whatever, especially I'm doing the live streams from Drift Masters and then also the interviews and everything. I mean, if you come there for 2 hours, you will basically get nothing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it is a completely different story to
we can either
gather all that video material and everything.
We can either sit up there and he'll do a transition right in front of us, or we can go up to the 3rd floor in the tower where you can see the whole of Kuma.
Ooh,
that's where I do my live streams.
The tower would be nice.
Yeah, let's go to the tower.
I love all of that kind of old structures, even though if it's not that old, but still like a.
Yeah, this is like the race control
somehow
track.
Racetracks always, when there is no event on it, they always feel like, you know, abandoned places. Yeah. But it makes it somehow more interesting.
So this tower used to be the office of the owner. The top floor is his office.
Okay.
That he would do some meetings at the track. The 2nd floor used to be my office at some point.
Okay.
But I moved out because it was extremely hot in here. And
it's maybe not the most convenient location for an office, but
yeah.
But the view is nice.
And there's all like dragster equipment and a lot of rubbish in there. But the top floor is where I do my live streams for the practice days, because I'm not allowed to live stream on the actual event.
Yeah.
Because of the main live stream.
Makes sense.
But yeah, this is the top. Basically the street layout that he just did.
They should sell like VIP packages into this place, like with of course maybe tidy it up a little bit, but kind of.
This is where the judges will be.
Okay.
So
well,
Sunday,
that makes sense.
most likely Vernon, Elacoco, Paddock, and the Spanish judge that we have that I haven't met yet. I have no idea who he is. They'll probably stand up here, and then race control will be on the floor underneath us, which will be, I think, Maria, and they talk with who needs to come up for the next runs and tell the marshals to get everybody ready in the pits. Everything happens on the 2nd floor. And then the DJ and everybody will be out here. We have Easy Sound. He's a DJ. He'll rock up with Red Bull. They'll set up like a tent here and bring the Red Bull truck, and he'll talk to all of the spectators and stuff. But yeah, up here is the best, especially when it's... You have a nice full 360 view of the whole layout. You can see what the cars are doing between themselves. So like when I do the live, I want to be able to see the clipping zone, so I know how deep they filled it, and this is the best place. And
have you noticed from social media that I've been doing some work for Chicago Drift, which is the Finnish event, which is going to be quite awesome event. Of course, I need to advertise that a little bit, even though this video is not about Chicago Drift, but that's like, it started with 4,000 spectators, then it was, I think, 9,000, and now the goal is somewhere around probably 12,000 at least. So it is...
that's per race, 12,000 spectators per race?
Yeah, wow. But it's a special race.
Wow,
it's
that's
like,
insane.
you know, they put a lot of effort into it. There's a festival after the race, and there's like for every day there's some, like, according to my understanding, like the first day is more like a family day, and then the next day is like more like a party day or party event, and
that sounds
and
fun.
there's like a lot of stuff, and then there's like a parade in the city with all the pro drift cars and stuff. And they already did that once, I think, or twice. So it is possible.
Yeah. It is
somehow
possible.
They made it happen even in Finland.
That's pretty cool. But, yeah, we do not have 12,000 spectators. We have like minimum 1,000, maximum, I think the biggest event was 3,000 spectators, but it's been years. Maybe close to 2.
But I think like this place should, I mean, it has the potential in a way.
It has the
It's somehow
potential.
well confined. Of course, like what is the? Is it then Ayanappa, or which is the biggest city now close to this, or
Yeah,
Larnaca, or
Ayanappa and Larnaca are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
I would say Larnaca probably because it's not touristy, so it's
yeah,
all the
yeah,
locals
yeah,
living
for the
there.
locals, yeah.
Ayanappa, there's lots of locals as well, but it's a more tourist-based place. But
maybe
yeah, Larnaca
for the summer season, or spring autumn season, for the races, package that with like some for the international guests.
Yeah,
that would be.
I mean, in the summer, the people that are coming to Cyprus are more for the beach and to relax, and
Yeah,
here
but
it's very hot.
But there's
You're at the track, we're
yeah.
talking 45 degrees. Yeah. It's hot, come to the track.
I
I mean, even in August, it's literally abandoned here because it's so hot. You'll get some crazy people. I'll come down and do some racing, but you're literally sitting in the car just pouring with sweat, boiling hot. That's why I've left the air conditioning in the Lexus. So I can cool down when I'm on the start line.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. And the problem with the track in Cyprus is because we are on such a small island, there's only that many people that come to the track. So there's like a cutoff.
Yeah, and to like maybe then to bring international drivers with their own cars here is always the logistics and everything.
It's
a little bit also in Finland that we are. I mean, you basically need to take a ferry at some point to come to Finland. It's maybe, I don't know if it's even.
In Cyprus, there's two sorts of ferries. There's the Salamis ferry that Yelagogo used to go to Driftmasters, which is extremely expensive.
Okay.
We're talking in the thousands just to go one way. And then there's a ferry that happens in the summer, which I use to go to Driftmasters, but they don't allow race cars and racetracks. So you could come with your motorhome, but your race car's staying. And that's
that
way
doesn't
cheaper.
help.
That's 300 euros.
Yeah.
But you can't.
And what is the, like, where does it go to?
It goes to Limassol Port, to Piraeus in Athens.
Okay.
And it starts on the last day of May and finishes on the first day of September.
Okay. Well, that's
so
a
the rest
challenge.
of the year, you have no ferries to get out unless you pay the Salamis one, which is like, I think, 3,000, 4,000.
And then probably there are some cargo options, but then it's also a different story. And
there is a ferry from the north of Cyprus to Turkey, but nobody's really taking this option.
Okay.
Yeah. I might try it next year. But I don't know yet. Yeah, they have a great drift scene though. I do go on the Norse and I go visit because Enver Haskas up.
Yeah, next weekend you told me that
yeah.
there's a race, and I'm actually. It would have been really nice to.
Yeah, somehow organize it, but I found out very last minute.
Yeah, and then for me, I'm running out of my vacation days for this winter, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
And also, you know, coming here at this time of the year when it's not the high season, I'm basically having Ayanappa to myself, and you know, that is like a 1 week trip on these days, and there is not like that much of flexibility on the day. So I took that because
next
but
time.
I wanted to come.
Yeah. It always gives you another possibility to come again.
Oh yeah. True that.
I mean, in the Enver does a race in Christmas where they do a street parade. Not as crazy as the first street parade they did. That was wild. It was even crazier than Riga. I was blown away how we had the Shanahans. I think James Dean was down here. And we had Thomas Kiley, I think, was here that time. Last year we had Dwayne McKeever, Ryusei, and Conor Falvey. It was a nice street parade, but they didn't let them go super crazy like last year. Yeah. But it's nice to have the Driftmasters drivers come.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
cool
and Enver is now driving the whole season. In Driftmasters, it's interesting to see. And like last year, I think it was a little bit more to the car issues, like in Riga. I mean, he barely drove any laps in there, and that was pity. But well, I mean, I talked to him, and he seems to be like a good guy. And
no, he's a great guy in there.
Good to see the whole season.
Yeah.
And,
well, I was doing his media in 2018. We did a whole year of Driftmasters before it became this crazy event that it is now. Driftmasters is, for me, the best championship in the world for drifting. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, And I think this season is going to be awesome.
It's going to be wild.
Like,
it's going to be wild. I can't wait to be
somehow I have that feeling that it's going to be, no matter who wins or what, but it's going to be the best season ever.
It's going to be really good. I can't wait to leave Cyprus to start going to watch the Drift Masters.
Yeah. Are you going to do all the races?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to do all of them. I'm probably maybe going to do 2.
Okay.
Because last year I did 3. No, I did Riga. We went to Ostrava with Ayanappa and Marco, and then we did Ferropolis. And I missed Poland because the ferry leaves and there's no other ferries.
Yeah. And
it was a lot of driving. We did 8,500 kilometers, and my girlfriend didn't appreciate going to a track every weekend.
Okay.
So this trip, I said, all right, it's your year. We're going to go to more things for her. Okay. But we're definitely going to Ferropolis.
We need to do those sacrifices.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones who need to. But
yeah.
But Ferropolis, it was just.
It was amazing.
Like, okay, if I watch it from the TV, I don't put like that, that high value on the track and the event. Yeah. But being in there, it's on other planet. I mean, it's crazy.
It was crazy, and the cranes and everything, and the atmosphere, and having being able to swim at a championship.
But it was pretty hot.
Yeah, it was boiling. It was boiling. Like we arrived in Ferropolis thinking, oh, what a nice weekend we're going to have. It's not going to be hot like Cyprus. I go outside 36 degrees. I'm like, what? But at least we had the place to swim, because that was really nice. Between runs, I've never done. I think we should go down. I'll ask Avusti and see if we can just go to the parking and maybe do some donuts or something.
Okay.
Before the track closes.
Yeah, cool. So preparations. I asked this minutes ago, but what sort of a pressure are we going to put into the tires?
We're running 2.5, which they should go to around 3 when we start doing some donuts.
So it will be, if I've now understood correctly, some sort of a lesson for me today, like the very basics.
We'll start with some donuts, and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
There we go.
Maybe just for the background, I mean, my drifting in a real car is limited. I would say the most grip I have had is on wet tarmac.
Okay.
And winter on snow, of course, and on ice.
I've never done ice, but I would like to do next year.
But in ice and in snow, it's everything is like slow-mo.
Yeah. But harder.
You can somehow react to everything maybe a little bit easier. But then, of course, I mean, we had that slippery surface since we were, driving our bicycles in the winter, so we kind of know what it is. So, but yeah.
I mean, we're using second-hand tires, so they can be quite slippery because they're a bit dry because of the Cyprus sun. But these ones, I don't know what they're going to be like. They're Rung-Flats.
But for this use, I mean, what does it really matter? If it does the job, puts it sideways, then
let's go down to the parking.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some more cameras.
Yeah, get some cameras.
So we get it all in film, because this is gonna be exciting.
Man, for sure.
So now we are headed to the parking place, as you called it, or like the.
It's where all the lessons happen. The lessons. So we got the okay from Avusti.
Okay.
What we would do without Avusti, I don't know. So we'll go down. We'll set up like a cone.
So his role is he's
the race director, manager of the racetrack. He's here on the weekends, looking after all the customers and the runnings of the track and everything.
Cool.
Okay, there's no cones in the parking, so we'll get some tires. This is another like little office where the judges normally set up there, and then like the DJ stuff is underneath. Get some tires from here. You can stay in the car, I'll just load them up or just get through.
But I will put some cameras.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll do it on the other side of the... Yeah, we'll do it on the other side of the tower.
Okay,
because it's a bigger space.
So I will anyway go there and set up some cameras.
Yeah, you can do that.
Just to know where to point those at.
Yeah.
So, James is going to get some cones or something. We're starting this from very basic level, and also if Joona Varonen is watching this, you can close your eyes now because you know how I did in the sim drift test.
Se alkaa laskea. No sinne tuli heti feile. Kokeile nyt ja totuttele siinä.
Oho. Onko tää oikeestikin näin vaikeeta? Juman kautta.
Näytti helpommalta.
Niin, mä katsoin äsken. During the travel fair where Chicago Drift was part of it, so let's see.
Rev it up quite high because it's very slow, the Lexus, and then pop the clutch, and then let the wheel spin in your hand until you think it's correct to go around the wheel. So it just be like rev. And we don't want to hit because your camera is there. But it's literally very little input on the steering, and it's counter steering around. There you go.
Okay. Well, I can tell you it's a completely different feeling than on the snow.
Really?
There's a lot of more grip, even though I believe it's. By the way, I like your mats here.
Someone gave it to me as a present.
Okay, you
it's
hold that.
a bit of a tight squeeze in there.
Yeah. But the good thing here is that I'm not very big guy.
There we go. Let's get your belts on.
You don't have the adjustment here this way?
No.
Okay. And
it might go a bit more forward the seat.
Yeah, that would be because the clutch is a little bit tough for me.
Yeah, there's this thing that you need to pull up. I'm pulling it up. Is it going forward?
Oh, let me.
It might be. It's at its max. Yeah, I think it's at its max. I came a little bit closer.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, this is a 4-point harness.
Yeah.
And it is which?
Yeah, it's that one.
Does it go in like?
Yeah, it's a bit weird this bit. Has it gone in?
It's in, yes.
And then the other one, I'll just tighten it up from here.
No. So, the right one is not quite long enough. So I'll.
You can just make it a bit longer.
Yes. First time wearing a 4-point harness.
And that one just,
As you maybe can tell. It's a little bit of movement here too.
It's okay, you don't need to be so tight. We're not going to go anywhere.
The one is up here.
Yep, one is there. Handbrake doesn't work.
Oh, handbrake doesn't work? Again,
but we won't need it for these lessons.
Okay.
So just eye up, your focal point is the tires. Yeah. That's your reference point.
Should I maybe do,
Yeah, you can if you want.
I don't want to crash my camera like right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The steering feels pretty okay.
Yeah.
Like compared to the sim, because it's like you are not having any of the G-forces or anything. So.
Yeah. Nice, you got it, man. From the other way, try the other direction, but you got this, man. It's like the fastest lesson I've ever done in my life.
Okay, I'm so happy because for me, like I hate at sucking at something that I think I should be good at. So
No, that was pretty good,
but yeah.
Super control at the end. Try and get a bit closer. The tire is shredding itself.
Ah, was it gone?
No, it'll go when we hear the boom.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's how I treat my drift car. But yeah, you could try and do a bigger layout. I think you're quite.
Yeah, it feels
pretty
like
decent. You can try and do a bit of the layout
logical.
if you want.
But where should we do it? Maybe.
Just stay away from the walls.
Okay. Okay.
I'll pull the stop brake if I feel that we might hit something. It's not
Okay.
very good. But
And how about then, like, okay, we were now first gear.
well, first to do like the bigger layout, you're gonna need second. But yeah, maybe.
I'll just, I really don't remember how it went.
Yeah.
But maybe to get like a feel
do
of
a
a
side lap
transition and yeah.
Just stay away from the tower and keep like 2-3 meter
Yeah,
distance
now
from the
I'm
wall.
thinking of the camera angles here, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe in between the
Yeah.
cameras.
Oh, it's quite a lot of more speed.
Yeah, it's a lot more speed here.
Yeah, I will
Maybe
kind of
you
carefully select on where to.
You could
also,
maybe possibly do a donut around the tower, so it'll be much bigger. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it needs a lot of sending it in.
Yeah, yeah. Also like a more
And you need to be
radius.
full throttle. There you go. There we go. Keep up the revs.
Oh, yeah.
Just clutch kick it when you feel
Yeah,
it's dying.
yeah.
Just give it a clutch kick.
Whew.
I abuse a lot this car, so don't worry.
Okay.
I've got another clutch in there. Yeah, you can keep going. I don't mind about the banging noise.
Okay. That was a little bit of a wrong steering angle in there. But yeah. Okay. Well, this is fun.
Try the other way as well.
Yeah. But this is crazy fun. This might be, some implications. Oh, steering was a little bit late again to my transition.
It's pretty cool,
Hey.
bro.
Man, this is fun.
Yeah, bro.
This is,
I'm glad
I don't know, I really want to see my expression from the camera because I feel like I cannot concentrate on anything else. I'm probably looking like an idiot, but
It looks like you're having fun, bro. You're getting the feel of it. It's a new car, it's a new track, it's different weather that you're used to. It's
but this is basically rubbish tires we're having right now.
Yeah.
And if you come from ice or snow or basically any of those surfaces or wet tarmac, this is just incredibly much more pretty.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, bro, I can't
and
wait.
also like all the how the car reacts. Now I kind of start to understand like what it demands from the pro drifters.
Yeah.
Like if
And they're on semi slicks.
yes.
they're
And
putting in grip.
if this feels like snappy, and I know that this car is not like this is not like a competition spec car by any means. So
by any means, no.
but man, it's fun.
Imagine
What did you say? What engine is in this?
It's a 2-liter 6-cylinder. It's the 1G FE.
Okay.
It's the stock IS200 engine.
Yeah, I'm talking because I need to rest a little bit because it's also like physical. It's physical. Yeah. How about then like for the temperature, cooling, everything in the car?
Fine. I mean, we're very low on temp, and if we press that button there, I've put a garden sprinkler on the jet for the window wipers, and it's spraying it on the radiator.
Okay.
So we have some water cooling. But yeah, wait till Friday, bro. I'm gonna get you in some passenger rides in pro cars. So like, that's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come up with their seats. Some drivers took them out this year, but.
So the tire flapping noise, is it
pieces of tire ripping off the wheel and smacking against the body.
So and it's from these tires.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
these tires didn't last that long.
Yeah.
That's sort of picking shoes when you get second-hand tires. You don't know what's gonna last and what's not gonna last.
Anyway, we're in an area where we don't have too many obstacles, so.
No. Where it's not dark, there's loads of marbles, like the small pieces,
and I
so you
remember
don't want to go
what
on
you
there.
told me about the walls.
Yeah. Little bit frightened then for a second. That's nice. That was a nice donut.
It is really like you're then only after those slides you're wanting to have more power because you want to just keep on going. And
just clutch kick it. Be violent on the clutch. I really don't care.
Yeah, it's like, again, I have had a manual car, and if it's your daily driver, you don't use it like that. So.
No, you definitely don't.
Was a little bit too much.
You can even do a donut around me if you want. I trust you. You're pretty good.
I wouldn't do it yet. That way.
Yeah, if you don't stay full on angle, when we straighten, we're gonna hit the wall.
Yeah. I kind of have a feel for that. Yes.
Yeah, I don't. If we hit the wall, I prefer to hit it sideways and not with the front of the car, so we make it at least damage as possible. Tire is ready to explode. That's why it's so slippery on the one side.
Now I can feel it, like even on the second gear, it's like.
You got more tires.
Maybe it's enough for these tires.
You can blow them up, bro. Get rid of your blowing up your tires.
It's like a virginity thing. Yeah. So maybe like.
Yeah, just do some donuts until they explode. More! Woohoo! They're gonna go! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! They lasted quite a long time. Ooh, your camera! That shot is gonna be wild. That shot is gonna be
Did it
wild.
go?
No, it didn't. Wow, you did like a transition in front of your camera.
Now it's gone.
Maybe it's gone, yeah.
I think it went just when we spun, or I spun.
Bro, that was so
Totally intentional, totally intentional. Oh my
so
god.
yeah, the other side went.
Which side?
Rudy's first exploded tire. Very proud it was in the Lexus.
Ah. Man.
Come see your damage. Because it's a Rung-Flat, it looks like it's not got any air in it, but it's flat.
So it still runs.
Yeah.
Hey, man, already at this point, like, hey, thank you so much for having me here. I mean,
oh, you're welcome. But this is just the beginning. We can do more of a lesson tomorrow once you're more relaxed.
I mean, I can't wait, but you know, it's because now it's like it's the first touch.
Yeah, you get.
It's something I really need to like super concentrate to, like, you know, not to crash to the wall, which I didn't do.
You didn't? No,
by the way. And everything. And also, you know, we are driving a right-hand drive car.
Yeah.
Which is not what I do.
Oh yeah,
always.
true.
Like, yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
So that's something really is different.
Now we'll go have a little relax. I'll change tires, and if you want to continue today, we can. If not,
Okay,
let's continue tomorrow.
Let's go and do that, and also check that footage on that camera.
Yeah, that was gonna be wild.
So that was the first try of me drifting, spinning donuts and stuff. It was fun. It was so fun. Oh.